Saturday. I am blue. Right. Okay, we are live. Move around so TikTok's not moaning. There we go. We're still doing this creator camp. We are lovely. Let's move that there. How many times do we think the Elgato's going to go off today? Last stream, it didn't go off at all. Just to show the inconsistencies. I don't think we're going to be that lucky today. Last stream, we did a bit of progress. We had a very good mining trip. We also started the ladder down here. You met CR7 and look at my TikTok stories. I'd rather eat shit, mate. I'm at a stage where I'm too cold to not put a hoodie on, but... Hey? I'm at a stage where I'm too cold to not put a hoodie on, but too cold when you take it off. Do you mean you're at the stage where you're too warm to put a hoodie on, but you're too cold when you take it off? I think that's what you mean. I can assure you. That message doesn't make any sense. That's why long sleeve shirts exist though, Caleb. Just put a long sleeve shirt on, mate. Right. So, one thing we need is a crap ton of spruce, because we need to... Hello, Fox. We need to change the middle podium to spruce. So, we're going to get mine. Make a tea. A tea's not going to solve his problem. It'll make him warm on, like, his chest and inside, but it's not going to solve his problem. His problem is likely his arms. That's likely where he starts feeling the cold. He's not going to make you start being, like, thermal. Just slap a long sleeve shirt on, Caleb. That's what you need. Long sleeve shirt. Or, like, a thin jumper. You can get jumpers that also have, like, breathing holes as well. Normally they're quite sport jumpers, though, to be fair, but they have particular areas where it's got, like, micro holes, let your body breathe. I meant to drink something cold when you feel cold anyway. I've never really researched that. People have, like, 10... I've heard about 10 different stories when it comes to that. Some people say you're meant to do that because then your body starts trying to warm up the liquid. Then it starts trying to warm you up. Whereas when there's a warm drink, it tries to cool it down. Therefore, it's cooling you down. Personally, from someone who feels every kind of temperature fluctuation, I can assure you, it doesn't make a difference. I wouldn't choose to go and have an icy cold drink if it's -5 outside. So, I think it's a crock of shite. If it's cold outside, I'm having a warm drink, mate. Simples. But normally that's just to warm up my hands, to be honest, not to warm up anything else. So nice being able to use iron again. That mining trip last week really helped with that. Lovely jubbly. I don't fully fight myself, but I do like ice cream in winter. I like ice cream all times of year, to be fair. So I can see why. I've not had ice cream in ages, though. Went through, like, a massive... what's the word? Massive craving of it, though, last year. If everyone remembers. Caleb probably does, because it started with Caleb and Kai. That was actually... It's only a year ago when that happened. It was April, and we went to Spain. And that was the time... That's when I started having the cravings for ice cream. I think I am ready for summer now, though. I was a bit, like, reluctant to let the winter go, but I can't really be arsed for spring. I always think spring's, like, the most annoying time of year. Because the weather can never make its mind up, and when it's warm, it's not really warm, and when it's cold, it really is cold. Whereas in the autumn, it's not really like that. The autumn is a bit more consistent with its temperatures. It's like this spring thing. We're having a nice bit of warm spell now. I guarantee there is still one real cold patch for somewhere before the end of spring. There'll be like a week where it's like 1 degree again, or like -3. It always happens. And it's like the most annoying thing ever. Got a cream egg cornetto. I've never had any of the cream egg ice creams. Or really any of the cream egg desserts, because you get a cream egg trifle as well, I know that. Same, I love the Mars. Oh, the ice cream bars, like Mars. Lion do one as well. Them in general, though, them ice cream bars are brilliant. Because they're nothing, Mars aren't like, they're nothing new. They've been around for decades now, them ice cream bars. If you buy like the supermarket own brand, you get like 12 in a pack or whatever. Well, probably like 8 in a pack now, but. McFlurry and espresso. That's actually a thing, I think, isn't it? It's like, isn't that the secret menu? Or is that the milkshake? Either way, it would work. Because coffee ice cream's a thing. RV Gaming, welcome in. And we kept stopping off to grab a McFlurry. You say kept, no, we only stopped off once. We stopped off in the morning for breakfast, and then I had a McFlurry. We kept stopping for ice cream in Spain. But that was Portaventura's actual ice cream. Good, thanks. And yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Food's another thing we could probably do both solving today. It's just I don't know where to put the bloody farm. That's my issue. Oh, it was a creeper I like. Oh, and another one. Yeah, it's milkshake and coffee, yeah. I knew one of them was on the secret menu. It's like, that's actually normal, in my opinion, because you can have a frappe, which is literally pretty much is a milkshake with coffee in. And you can have coffee ice cream, so, you know, espresso shot in a McFlurry also makes sense. The only thing with McFlurry that's kind of like that easy to melt ice cream, it's not really like, I don't really know the type. It's like that soft serve ice cream. Not like the other type of ice cream that you get in the big tubs. I feel like the ice cream you get in the big tubs that's got a bit more to it and not just going to melt straight away would be a lot better with the espresso shot. I feel like if you poured an espresso shot on a McFlurry, it'd probably just melt. Just die. It would just kill the ice cream. The apple pie dunked in McFlurry is not... Yeah, that's been a secret menu item for years, though, that has. Not too sure it's something I'd go for. I think I'd rather them do an actual tub of custard than have the McFlurry to dunk it in. But peanut McFlurry is a mini egg one coming out, yeah. The thing is though, the McFlurries is it's kind of like, I love a McFlurry as much as the next person, but they are a little bit annoying sometimes because they don't mix it anymore. So, and to be fair, they don't mix it because of people think it looks disgusting when it's mixed, which it does look a bit revolting when it's mixed, but like, there's no point. Like, once you've had the first 3 scoops, every topping's gone, so then you just eat an ice cream. That's the only thing that annoys me about McFlurries, and that's why I don't go for, like, the big one. It was weird. Last year, I only had, out of all the McFlurries I had one that was mixed. That was when they did that Reese's one. I was coming home from Great Yarmouth. And I stopped by a McDonald's, and then that one was mixed. And I kind of picked it up when I looked at it for a second. I was like, this don't look right. And then I realised, oh shit, it's mixed up. But like, because it was such a weird thing to see, it didn't seem normal. But that actually was nice because every scoop had something to do with the McFlurry. Like that mini egg one. That mini egg one will be banging if there was mini egg pieces all throughout the McFlurry, but it's only going to be on top. So once I get rid of the top, it's just going to be ice cream. Right, there's the middle bit done now. The filet fish burger. Yeah, that's the surf and turf burger. Yeah, secret one. Never had a filet fish. If I want, like, fish in a bun, I'll just have fish fingers, mate. Which they've removed them, haven't they? You can't have them now on the Happy Meal. Was an event on Discord just started? Oh no, Me6 has just, like, dropped a live note. Bit random. Which could ask for double shot within the app. That was always a good hack for extra toppings and sauce. Yeah, I don't know why you can't, to be fair. I feel like you should be able to ask for extra toppings. And obviously they'll charge you for it, but like... I don't see why you can't. Like, let's say I want extra mini egg toppings on the McFlurry. Why can't I just like spend an extra like 50, 80 pence, whatever they charge, to get that? I like fish, never try it. To be fair, I've never tried anything fish from McDonald's, but I would never order the filet fish. I'm surprised I don't know. I'm surprised. Like, the filet fish gets so much hate, but it stays on the menu, which yeah, it can only stay on the menu if they think it's profitable. So there must be enough people ordering it, because it never goes off. It's been there for years, and they even try and do weird things with it, like this secret menu. So, like, it must be somewhat profitable. I'm just looking forward to the new breakfast item, the McGriddle, which was meant to come out already, but they delayed it. So it now comes out on the next menu release, which is like sweet and savoury, because the pancakes with the sausage patties in the middle. I don't think we're getting all the different types of McGriddle, though. I know America has quite a few types, but I think we're only getting the basic. One was charged a little dip to get the extra on the McFlurry, which was fair game. Yeah, I don't know why it's not an option, because you can remove the toppings, so I don't know why. You can't add extra. Yeah, the McGriddle was delayed because I put it in the Discord at the start of the year when there was when the menu was leaked, and then it got announced as delayed. Well, it didn't get announced; it was delayed by the people who leak the stuff. But it's in the next menu, apparently. They're also bringing back the double Big Mac as well. You know, the one that's got 4 patties instead of... Is it 4 patties? Whatever the double size is. The extra large. Oh no, craft table. That one I had to make because I was digging down and my pickaxe broke. Peri Peri shaker fries coming out too. I've not seen that. Yeah, I've not seen that, mate. I know the that arch burger's staying, which I think that just might become a permanent staple on the menu because it just seems to stay. Oh, I would never do that again if I'd tried. Perfect amount made, which is pretty impressive given how many blocks there was to put ladders on. So we've now got that, so we can now start branching out. I want to leave about 3 blocks between each level. Oh, I need to mute Xfinity because it's still playing Christmas shit. Lynn, thanks for the follow. Let me mute that. There we go. Right, you can't play Christmas music now. I know it's tick 30. I just don't know what it is that's not, what it is that's making it. So I always mute it. But I've not today. Now I have muted it. So if any follows now, I won't play Christmas music. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I should want to have a different ceiling. No, because I can break that one. Why is so much cobblestone throughout here? Like someone's been like already mining it. Well, I found where that bloody secret guy was building. I'm a little bit annoyed though because he's like ruined my hill. But we'll take his shit so I can actually fill this up. Bit annoyed though because he's like fully ruined the hill by making all this shit. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, he's filled up the entrance as well. Okay. Well, we'll leave it, but I am a bit annoyed about that. Zorka's base been located, I don't know. Never really had an experience like that where someone's like being a bit weird like that. Putting signs. He's going to be in for a shot though for rejoins. Take the anvil though. Especially it's only been used a little bit. And diamond axe and a new set of some tools. I'll just throw this in here for now. Got a yellow bed as well. Alright. Where was that? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not entirely sure why he mined a bit of iron and then left the rest and covered it up. Most bizarre decision I've ever seen. Iron pickaxes are starting to feel slow. I like only stone axes this time last week. I had no iron. And then now it's starting to feel slow. My music's hella intense right now. I can even hear it. Always hate why they have like super loud songs. What is this song? What is this? Never heard of that artist in my life, and that's hardly surprising. Hardly surprising. Only benefit to him breaking this, I sort of actually know where the edge is. But I'm wanting to have a 3-block cushion in between each level. Just in case I want to add anything in between. I'm going to have to smelt some stone now. What rooms do we need in the house, guys? What? I've got a storage room, which one day I'm definitely going to need to expand it. I've got a bedroom. I know I need an enchantment room, but I don't know if I was tempted to do a different building for that. The nether portal's outside. Can't really think what rooms do you need in a house? Living room, kitchen. No, you're thinking too realistic, mate. I'm thinking practicality. I'm thinking practicality, like what like physically is going to be a helpful room. Why would I put a living room underneath the bedroom? Alright. Like, especially if it's like this is a basement as well. So it's not like real life. I know like in real life you'd have your living room underneath your bedroom because your living room would be downstairs, but I already am downstairs in this case. So essentially the living room should be up here. Bar and study. Yeah, I don't think either of them are going to be practically helpful in Minecraft. I don't think a study's gonna do much for me. Lots of coal here. This is a big coal vein. Hey, can I join? Is it Raxy? Welcome to the stream. You're more than welcome to, mate. Just do ! join. I do need to put a pinned message on that, to be fair, so I'll work on doing that in a minute. Just do ! join, and you can read the command. Thanks for the follow as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a lot of coal. Right, nearly half a stack, and it would be half a stack if I mine the floor, which we'll have to in a minute, but not decided on what floor we're having yet. What's used to do ! tags. I probably should put that in that command, to be fair. Yo, bro, you need to beat the game. I've already beaten the game, mate. Or beaten the game, quote unquote, because you can't actually beat Minecraft. But I don't need to do anything. Right. How wide is this room? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay. We can probably add maybe 3 blocks either way at the moment. What did you say? Exclamation mark tags, mate. To be fair, our mod can put it in for you. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We maybe have to go further than 9. Toothless, welcome in. Someone watches How to Train Your Dragon based on that name. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, the new one's now on Sky Cinema. Might rewatch it. That's what happened yesterday. I had some dodgy person trying to... Raxy, you should just be able to join, by the way. The world's open. I had some dodgy person follow me on Twitch. Definitely a banned person who accidentally followed me. The account was created 10 hours ago this morning. And they unfollowed straight away. I was like, yep, you're straight out of here, mate, because you're the 100% some banned person on some other account. Nobody creates an account that's 10 hours old and then unfollows straight away if you are here for legitimate reasons. This is my funnel. That could be a problem. Although I could just fill that middle bit up. Hello, Reddits. How are you? Reddits. I like that name. Raxy, the only rules, by the way, is don't rob anybody and don't annoy anybody. As long as you're not doing that, it's not to worry. You can go wherever you want in the world. If you are going to come to me, please don't build on my hill. That's the only rule. That stairway could be a tad annoying. I wasn't expecting the mine to get in my way. Where's this a realm? No, Reddit. This is just an old world. This is just my world, and if people want to join, they can. But it's not like a professionally run world or anything like that. This is just my world to find some more enjoyment in Minecraft. VIP, welcome in. How are you? Gamer Kill Edits, welcome in. Gamer Kill Edits, I recognise your name. I don't know if it's similar with someone on TikTok. Oh, he's been slain by a zombie. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. You're in an online class? What do you have, like college or something? They still do online classes. I thought they just fully scrapped all that after COVID. Wow, so much cobblestone. VIP is whatever the latest version of Bedrock is. I want to say I have a massive base. I mean, I have 2 houses technically. This is my 2nd house. I've only been in this house for... hang on, what am I doing here? Well, I don't know, like 30 Minecraft days. Smart. That's going to come down here. Pokemon. Welcome in, how are you? If you want to join, do ! join, buddy. But welcome to the stream. Pokemon. I was going to go down like that. Guys, we're in online classes. That's actually a thing. I'm going to teach me something new here. No, I left school a long time ago, but we only had online classes because of COVID. Pokemon, thanks for the follow. Do ! tags, buddy. And you can see my users there. So he's playing with viewers? I am playing with viewers. Bossinator, thanks for the likes on TikTok. It's going to be a big ass room. Guy who's secretly built in my fucking ass is so annoying. He's made this gaping hole that's straight into build around. Have I played Doom? I have played Doom before. I've never completed a game. I've not played Doom since I used to play on Xbox, which was many moons ago. I'd like to play Doom though, like play the franchise. It's not really on my list of games, but do we have an IP? No, because it's not a server. This ain't Java either, by the way. Normally when people ask that, they normally are on Java. This is Bedrock. I know Bedrock have servers, but normally people who ask that are on Java. Harry, as I say, I've not really played much Doom, mate. I've not really got enough experience of the franchise to have an opinion about the games. So I wouldn't want to go and put an opinion out there. You played Battlefield? Yes, a long time ago, though. Brain Eater, thanks to follow. I've not played Battlefield in ages. I played the beta for the... I played the beta of the latest one. But, never brought the game. No, nobody really talks about Battlefield 6. I don't know. I guess it depends on, like, the people who play Battlefield 6 talk about it. But equally, obviously, it's like most FPS shooters. Once the initial launch hype goes, only the people who actually really care about the franchise are going to talk about it. So unless you know of someone who really cares about Battlefield, you're unlikely to hear much about it. But yeah, I've not played Battlefield in years. One of my last Battlefields that I put many hours in was Battlefield Hardline, which that was a very, very long time ago. Mainly played Battlefield for story mode, though, I would say. I've always been COD over Battlefield when it comes to online. It doesn't matter how annoying COD is. I might just bring a crafting table down here. You added me on Minecraft? Caleb, can you just explain in chat that so I'm not having to constantly repeat about the Minecraft thing? When Battlefield 6 came out, everyone was like posting videos, talking about it, but no one talks about it. Yeah, as I've just explained, it's, you know, Like all FPS, mate. All FPS shooters, when they're initially launched, people talk about it. Once the initial launch goes, it's only the people who really care about... Oh, I made an axe. Didn't mean to do that. It's only people that really care about the franchise that will keep talking about it. It's nothing uncommon. It's happened for years. Battlefield itself still gets decent regular players. Bit like Fort Shit. Fort Shit's the same. It's like that game still gets really good active players, but you don't really see many people speaking about Fortnite now. Other than the people who really care about the game. Which weapon is better, mace or spear? I don't really use either. I'm going to be honest. I'd just rather use a sword or an axe. I'd probably say the spear, because the mace is very niche. Unless you've got the high ground on someone, the mace is not very useful. The spear itself can allow you to hit something from a longer range. So if you're weak and you can't really do close combat because you can't afford to take hits, then the spear would be better because you can have the extra distance. Whereas the mace, unless I've got the high ground, it's be pretty pointless. So spear, and the spear's cheaper to make. So cheap to make, easy to make, more common as well. In fact, and to be honest, I'm being honest about the mace. I think the mace is probably one of the most useless items been added to the game in recent years. It doesn't really serve a purpose. The mace is, and it's over Anakin. I have the high ground. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. When the mace first came out, the first thought I had when they were showcasing, I was like, I was trying to picture where that would be useful outside of mini games. There's never really, you never really end up in a fight with any mobs in this game where you're at the high point and you're going to launch down on them. I can't think of many interactions where that's naturally happened in Minecraft, to be honest. But equally, for mini games, and I thought it was at the time, the mace is good. You're having a bit of fun. It's certainly, it's all right in that department. Welcome back, Rexy. How the hell have I been live for nearly an hour? Really done anything. I've been like destroying a room. Clips, welcome in. How are you? Thinking of, if you're on a house, well, this is my house. My house is above, but I'm in a hill. So my house is on a hill, but then all the rooms are going to be in the hill. So there's going to be different levels all the way down there. All right, this is the first level, and then there's rooms that are going to go down there. And then the mine. And then this is the next room. And then the ladder goes all the way down to the bottom of the hill, which is quite a way down. 2, 4, 6, 8. Is that 10? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'd say it's meant to be 9. Although 10 would just be the wall I need to fill in, so it's not an issue. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Council are redoing the roofs here. Wish they'd sort the windows out. Speaking of council, the council house around some of them look really bad in terms of like need some work drastically. We don't live in a council house; we own our house, so it's we don't really have any of the work like that. But of course, the people around us are in council houses, and some of them look terrible. Like, they've only been done like in the last couple of years. And then you look at them and they're in worse condition than before they did anything to them. If that makes sense. You're like, fucking hell. Can I see your house? There's not really much to see, mate. I mean, I can go up to the top if you really want, but there isn't too much to see at the moment. The idea of the house can be a lodge in a woodland, so it's covered in snow at the moment, though. There's a lot of snow that's landed on this hill. And then this is like the view over the snow biome. But yeah, this is my house and horse. W house, cheers, Rexy. And then there's like a little attic up here. But if I go down here, this is a little quick storage room. And then this is my bedroom. I don't really put anything in the bedroom because I have a bed upstairs, which is more practical. But yeah. And I don't think that's going to be my long-term bedroom anyway, but for now it is a bedroom. So there you are. I'm going to read you after class. It's all good, mate. Your new neighbours have only just moved in and have scaffolding up outside the house. Can't really blame them though, because normally when you're like moving into a house, especially now, you're probably thinking there's a few things you want to do to the house. So there is absolutely no point in waiting around. Like, you may as well just get on with it. Like, why move everything fully in there when you could just, you've got this empty house. Just get started. Like, you know, yeah, you got that empty canvas. Like most people, when they want to do stuff to the house, having to move things out of their rooms or whatever. Whereas you've brought the house, it's already empty anyway. You may just get on with it. I mean, I can't really speak because I've never brought a house, obviously, but from the outside looking in, I feel like when you're buying a house, nine times out of 10, there's probably something, you've probably got some money on to one side with work for the house as well that you want to do. So you've probably bought the mortgage or whatever, and then you've probably got some extra money to one side, which is for doing work to the house. Unless you're buying like a new build, but even then, new builds, like, you see some of them and they're like, fucking hell. I don't know. No, it's the council started in their house. No one's been in there for over a year and they had all that time to do it and wait. Yeah, well, that's the council for you, mate. The only thing I'd say about that, though, is the likelihood is there's a list of houses and that house was probably quite low on the list of priorities. And then it was then eventually a priority. So then they had to get on with it then. But beforehand, they was just trying to get someone to fill it. So they had other houses which were more important and urgent. I mean, don't get me wrong, the council is slow at doing anything, so I'm not defending them because other countries would have likely have had that house still done before someone had moved in. But there is probably a reason why that is the case, that they've started only when someone's moved in. I don't know. What do you say about neighbours is obviously at some point this year we're going to get a new neighbour, as I mentioned in the Discord, I think last month or whenever, about our neighbours moving out, which has been a work on the house. I don't really understand why, but after doing that much work to the house, but each their own. Still got a sign up outside the house though, so I don't really know when she's moving out. I don't imagine it'd be a quick process. I kind of had in my head it would probably be like a summer thing. I was thinking that she'd probably move out some point, middle of summer, late summer, and then someone probably moving around then. That's probably what I expect to happen. Not a quick process, so. Yeah, what a ways, yeah. I don't imagine you're gonna earn profit on the sale, that's for sure. Because although property, like housing property, has gone up drastically, it's not gone up enough to outweigh the cost of the work done. Oh, I doubt it anyway. The council speech be nowhere near the same sentence, yeah. A lot of it is, though, like, when it comes to building, a lot of it is through the stupid UK planning laws, though. Like, it's so easy for someone to block something getting done. So, I mean, I'm not defending the council because they're also to blame for a lot of the problems, but whenever something's like to get built or whatever in the UK, there's always some, like, idiot who's got a problem with it. It's normally, I'd say more times out of 10, it's either old folk or it's environmentalists. They're normally the culprits. Sofa, welcome back. And that drastically slows down anything getting done. Right, now you've finally emptied out this room. Old folk you got block builds for. They are normally the culprit of stuff because they just don't like change. And as I said, environmentalists are the next on the list for blocking stuff getting built. You know, God forbid a tree has to get destroyed. The connection is working out between computer and console. It's not working for everybody, buddy. If you're referring to Microsoft accounts. More iron. Should have just done this hill build. I needed the iron. We already found 4 pieces. So we found another nice vein here. And then on the other side of this room, there's a nice little vein. That's a really big vein of iron. I think there's a full 8 in it. Nice. That's more like 12. And you've got a vein down there, which will break when we need to do the floor. It is for you. That's why I said not for everybody, mate. I didn't say it was a universal thing of everybody's got it working and all that. I wonder if I might make this room like a bit deeper and kind of have it more like a corridor room. More iron, Jesus. Not really sure how much though. Yeah, I like your streams, thank you. Don't pay for working in a pharmacy because a lot of the complaints are from older individuals, and if they go private to get medication, they're fuming they have to pay. Yeah. That's why like so many people think like older people shouldn't vote on politics as well. Which I do think has a fair argument because they do tend to moan about. They tend to want to like take with one hand but not give with the other. Like, there is definitely an entitlement once you get to a certain age. And sad thing is, I'm going to be blunt, is, you know, old folk are closer to death than they are to being alive. Which is the argument against them voting on politics. Because they're voting on consequences they won't have to deal with. Important question, pancake or waffles? Pancakes. But not like crepes or UK pancakes, like proper American pancakes, if that's what the question is. Waffles are decent, but I always think waffles, whenever a basic waffle itself is pretty mid, and then whenever like you're ordering waffles, it's always a bit over the top. Where I feel like pancakes are nice, they're just you know nice middle ground. Hello, I'm new here. I was wondering why it's saying playing with viewers. Because I'm playing with viewers. Not really sure how to answer that question. Well, I'm not really sure how to answer that question without sounding sarcastic. Just because there isn't viewers on my screen right now doesn't mean I'm not playing with them. Minecraft is a big world, mate. I'll take that wood out and then just put some coal in there. Don't see a code is what I'm saying, because this isn't a realm or this isn't a server. So therefore there would be no need to have a code on the screen because it wouldn't get you anywhere. This might like be a bit hard to understand, but Minecraft once upon a time didn't have realms or servers. So therefore people had to be invited to join or add people, which is the exact same way this world works. I'll make 2 pickaxes just so I don't have to come to a crafting table again. There's one staff member that comes in always complaining he has to pay for his medication and staff should get discounts in the NHS. What? Because you work at a pharmacy, you should get a discount. Baffling. Got diced up beef to you today. Very nice. Luxury that is, beef. Fucking price of it. Okay, so it's a world. That's what I was asking. If it was a world or a realm, my guy. Why not just ask that then? And why don't you just ask that instead of giving us riddles? Well said, Caleb. Well said. Spot on there, mate. Went a little bit too far, but it's not an issue because that's going to be the wall that I'll have to dig out anyway. Love you some beef, yeah. Apart from the price. I think everyone loves beef as long as you don't see the price tag first. Alright, nearly done the markings of this room. Which, it looks a bit odd because of this guy's secret little base that he was trying to build underneath my house, but... once I've, like, filled in the walls, it won't look so weird. Prime Super Sunday this song is? Yeah, this one, like, Sky Sports is actually good. Can't really say Prime Super Sunday for last Sunday. Last Sunday was terrible if you watched the first half. I was joking about it at Forest. I said, here's the scores around the Premier League. And it was obviously 0-0 at Forest. Then it showed all the other scores and they all were 0-0. You're like, cracking Super Sunday that is. Fucking 0-0 everywhere. Second half all had goals in though at least. But if you was watching that first half as a neutral football fan, there wasn't really much to see. That is for sure. Right. So that is the main size of the room. But I want to go down by 4 blocks, maybe more. Let's first see those first halves. I don't know what was going on in the other games. Our game actually had some stuff going on because we was all over Liverpool in that first game. Kiki, thanks to the art, me. Wow, this coal vein was massive. I gave us more than half the stack in the end. God knows how much ore's in this hill. I mean, we've got loads of rooms to do, so probably going to find out at some point, but... Jesus Christ, still going. So, we had 26 before, and then we used 13 in the furnace, so we had 13 on us. We just got another 20. So that was a 46 coal vein. I don't know you can get a coal vein that big. That's nearly a stack of coal in one vein alone. That is mad. And we'll probably have about half a stack of iron once we mine the other iron that's in the floor. So, in this one room, we've earned ourselves half a stack of iron, which is paid for all the pickaxes to mine it in the first place. And then we've also earned a crazy amount of coal. And copper, I suppose, because we have also found quite a bit of copper. It was 38 there. thinking this room should be big. So I want to maybe add like water fountains in the corners. And then this can have like corridors going off. Corridors probably won't go that way because there isn't that much space on the hill that side. Unless we have that as like a viewing platform, which that'd be quite cool. But some of these corridors can go properly into the hill. And then I guess we could do like a massive farm room at one of these. I mean, that would be a huge excavation, but I don't mind these big projects. I've never really built a house like this, if I'm being honest. Not like a proper house in a hill. I've built on a hill, had basements in the hill, but never like a full-on like system going on in the hill. Like this is everything's getting built in here. Booted up one of my old worlds, the deep dark, very scary. One of the old worlds, the deep dark. Whenever I really got into Minecraft, the whole underground base was so you spend hours doing it. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's something we dug out that map room on as a team on like this time last year, roughly, because we were spending a lot of time in Discord together at the start of last year. We spent ages. Well, it doesn't say we spent ages doing that, but we definitely killed a good hour and a half, 2 hours doing that. Right, I am desperate to empty the barrel, and to be fair, I need a drink. So I'll just finish off this row, and then we'll run the hourly ads, and then I will be back shortly. So, for those on Twitch, I'm going to run some hourly ads. Don't worry, not missing anything. For those on the other apps, enjoy looking at this fox. I'll be back shortly. I should add like an ad button on my stream deck instead of like having to press buttons on my PC. Then I have to put all the chats again. Right, won't be long. Hello. Right. I am back. Tamara, welcome back. Right, black coffee. Very hot. Doo-doo. Tell you what I've not done. I've not really thought about. I said I'm live on all the platforms. Yeah. What was the song that TikTok's gave me for the live? Or the picture there? Gave me some cinematic. I love how the AI has to like detect what the picture's based on. And that's what it detects that as being. Fair enough. There's you. Right, I'm now Sam live and everything. I'll actually move before TikTok starts moaning at me. Saying, you've got AFK. You're a bot. Move this thing across the screen so we can prove you're not a bot, even though for the past hour you've not been a bot. But we now think you are a bot. W bot, that's you, mate. You're the biggest bot around. Right, mine again. Back mining. Kiki's the biggest bot of them all. Biggest NPC of them all, that's for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about Kiki being an NPC. One thing I wanted to check is on my Switch. I'll load up my Nintendo app. As how many hours I put in of tennis. And predict about 6-7 hours. Oh, apparently only 5 hours or more. Fair enough. That's not even that long then. I was curious because I wanted to know how long it took to do all the tournaments. I put 5 hours or more. I think I'm probably close to 6 hours. So, in the first week of Mario Tennis, I've already put a third of my total hours in that I put on Aces. Which about sums up how much better this is than Aces. When I've put in already a third of my time. We had Aces right from the beginning, by the way. So, and that was a game that I played at school as well with friends. I brought my Switch in. So, that is technically false hours. So to the single player of Fever, but I've been told that it's, well, not been told, I've watched videos and it pretty much is just is like more of a tutorial than a really cool single player. But apparently it does get better near the end. So annoyed I accidentally made that axe. I'm chilling now with 3 iron axes. Well, I don't need wood yet. It'll be good when I need wood, but I ain't going to need wood for a while yet. We've got quite a lot of this room to destroy. Getting the block stats up this is, though. Because we've mined, I think, 2 full barrels of stone. Sound like a youthful David Attenborough. Is he still alive? Probably, isn't he? Yeah, I feel like it'd be a big deal. I feel like I'd have heard about it if he died. That man's about 912 years. He's been around for as long as I can remember. Well, no shit, because he's older than me. Bit of a stupid comment that was, really, wasn't it? Because he's still walking. Here we have a wild Kiki in a natural habitat, the Kirome. You're in a Reddit for that. There's a Reddit for David Attenborough. That's going to be the most innocent Reddit ever. I check Reddit for stuff every now and again, and there is always something unhinged that I end up stumbling across. I'll be looking at just something about gaming or whatever, and then something will just pop up. Reddit's a very interesting place. You can never, like, go on Reddit and not see something unhinged. I actually do think Reddit's relatively reliable for gaming information, though. In terms of, like, learning something about a game, or it's quite good for seeing people's opinions, no doubt about that. Like, if you try and look for people's opinions on Twitter now, it's pretty impossible because you always come across AIs and bots, which I always used to do that, but you literally cannot go anywhere without seeing a bot somewhere. So Reddit's probably the best place to find people's opinions. I don't really know anywhere else that I can find opinions that I can on Reddit. Do it on TikTok, I stumble across bots. YouTube, you see bots annoyingly sometimes in the comments. Not all the time, but you do see it. Can't ever recall a time I've seen a bot on Reddit. I know, someone feel free to mention an app that doesn't have bots. I verify my age. My Reddit is... Oh, I verify my age and everything. Just because, like, 18 plus games. Well, even if I want to go... I noticed it first when I went to see something for GTA. It was like, you can't view this content because we don't know if you're old enough. For fuck's sake. Not about banning VPNs, though, aren't they? Which is what I joked about when it started. I was like, watch them ban VPNs now, and here they are. I don't really know how you can ban a fucking VPN. Ridiculous. The more annoying thing is the sites that you have to keep doing it. There's some sites, like even on Reddit, I've had to do it 2 or 3 times. I'm like, how many times do I need to verify my age? Twitter, you always have to do it on as well. It's like I've not got younger, so I don't know why I need my age again. I can't get younger, mate. Baffling. The thing is, what these like governments and older people don't get is young people, if they want to find something that's like they probably shouldn't be seeing, they're gonna find a way to find it. I can assure you. I can promise you they will find a way. So, as much as I like semi sort of agree with the protection, because we had this conversation on stream the other day about like some of the stuff we saw as kids, I do think it's a bit uneducated, to be honest. Where I didn't just use my old account. Oh, see, mine does. The weirdest thing about mine is on my phone it never asks me, but it always asks me on my PC. I don't know why. I find that very strange. I only had one age verification on Twitter for my phone. That was when it all started. But for PC, I've had to do it quite a few times. So I don't really get it. I mean, that's be real. One click gave you so much access. I don't access mine that way. See, I do phone and PC. Amara, welcome in. But yeah, PC is nowadays I just don't bother. Like, when I'm on PC or Twitter, it's normally just to scroll through a few things, but I just it's on phone anyway. It's probably not a big of a deal. And so, you know, banning the internet as a whole. They just want more control over stuff. That's the real reason they do all this, mate. Sky Sports are doing that. It's on adverts. I thought my TikTok was quite good yesterday. No, the sticky toffee pudding one. I kept seeing that meme and I kept on trying to think about how to use it, and then I saw someone do it for jam roly poly, and I was like, I'm taking your idea but putting my dessert on it. I mean, it might have been potentially already uploaded, but I saw someone do a jam roly poly one. That's where I got the inspiration to make a sticky toffee pudding version. More iron. Oh, big vein. Well, these iron veins are bigger than the ones I keep seeing in caves. No one always says, like, do cave mine, it's quicker, but when you see ore veins in caves, they're not normally that big, whereas when you stumble across them in hills or mining, strip mining, they're normally quite big veins. So, you could argue seeing one big vein not as often is probably better than seeing 3 or 4 tiny veins. Like, 1 8 vein of diamonds, for example, would be better than 3 sets of 1. Right. near probably done just over a quarter of the room. I don't know if this is deep enough though. Like, I don't know if I'm still getting the vibe of. I kind of want to go maybe a bit lower because I kind of want this as like a big. This I kind of want to be the plaza room. I have like a picture in my head about how I want to see this room. And I don't know if this is tall enough. I don't know. I might finish. I might if it does need to be a bit bigger, it won't be much. Maybe 2 more. EY, welcome in. How are you? EY. I like it. It's quite satisfying to say EY. I wonder how much pickaxe I've made today from this hill. Thank you for the follow, EY. I appreciate that. I had a few follows this morning. You cheeky followers. I was like kind of unsure how this would go because it's not February half term anymore, but there's been a decent influx of people on all the apps. It's good. Oh, hello. What's the fucking like dark music that's playing in the background? Random sound. Mining away all stream long. The ladder looks so skinny. You know, because it's like 1 block. It's so like slim in comparison to the rest of the room. I'm not entirely sure how to incorporate the stairs. You're watching, but you're also playing Minecraft. That's so good. That's what I used to do for Mario. When I used to watch streamers, I always used to put on a stream of the game I was playing. And lurk. Still do occasionally, not as often anymore. Now I just watch people because I like the person. So what I've been watching lately is a guy called Jake David. He plays Sims. And he's quite... his energy on stream is mad. Guys have got permanent energy. It's like... imagine someone on a permanent sugar rush. Funny guy, though. Sims actually had a new pack out lately. Not lately, recently. Like some royal family pack. There you got to spend even more money now if you want every pack in that game. Sims is one of them games I can see why people do piracy on it. But if you want like every pack in the Sims, you better get your wallet out. Come on. 10 o'clock already, chat. 10 o'clock. Sun is fully out as well. This feels more like a spring day now. Spring is here, baby. Most of yours from loaded. Yeah, I've never brought a Sims pack. I had a pirated copy on my, not this PC, my other PC. And that was quite interesting. This was many moons ago. There wasn't that many packs out back then. Probably should admit that. I just admitted to breaking the law, but fair enough. But now I have legitimate copies of the game, but I don't have any packs because I don't buy them. I don't play The Sims enough. It's quite funny. It's quite fun to stream it every now and again, though. Probably the most consistent streamers, like some of the most consistent streamers. That and Animal Crossing. Like, I don't think I've ever stumbled across an arsehole streaming Sims. And I've never stumbled across an arsehole streaming Animal Crossing. They're normally just there chilling. Normally got cool setups as well. Rose is slow on Sonic Racing Crossworld last trophy. Oh, you still at that? Good old Sonic Crossworld. Speaking of new games, this week is Resident Evil Rec Room week. Won't be streaming it. I've never completed Resident Evil 2 or 4, so I won't be starting 9 until I've done both of them, which is not anytime soon. I've only ever played 3, which we streamed. I played 7, which I also streamed, but I also played that twice. Played 8 recently and finished. And I also started Revelations on stream in 2020, but never completed. There's a nice clip of me getting jump scared. Because I did it right after coming back from football training. We did like a 2-hour stream. Remember, because the room's red. To have some dramatic look on the camera. Sims 3, £15 a pack. I didn't mind, but Sims 4, £15 a pack. Yeah, Sims 4 has like £30 packs in it. One thing I would say, though, is the packs are quite often on offer. But I do see the Sims 4 packs on offer quite a lot. I do feel like as long as you choose the right time to buy your packs, it's not as much as it could be. I bet Emily wants to play. Oh, that was where I went in that basement, innit? Oh, was that during the first subathon I ever did? I think it was, wasn't it? On the Sunday. I was shitting myself for that. That was awful, mate. Jump down a basement, some little girl just starts chasing me. The thing is now, you know, because I play so many horror games and I've done so many scare mazes in real life and all of this stuff. Now it's like even harder for me to get scared by anything. I just do not get scared by anything anymore. Even dolls, my threshold of dolls has become so incredibly high to the point that I can now watch stuff and I get disappointed. It's like Resident Evil 8, the doll thing I actually thought was one of the worst parts of the game. Whenever I talk to anyone about Resident Evil 8, they say it's the scariest part of the game, and I thought it was the worst part of the game because I was hoping for more. And it didn't really... I didn't get a single jump scare or anything where it bothered me. In fact, even during Resident Evil 8 in general, there wasn't a single jump scare, which disappointed me as well. Even in 7, when I first played it, there was a jump scare or two. Because as someone who doesn't get scared by something, I want jump scares instead, where something like pops up. Because anybody can get jump scared. Anyone who says they don't get jump scares is just chatting shit, because it's literally impossible to never get a jump scare in your life. Something will happen unexpectedly, but it'll like startle you at the very least. So it can happen to anybody. So I was a bit disappointed it never happened in 8. Sadly. Because a jump scare isn't like you're actually scared. A jump scare is just the fact that you're not expecting something and it actually happens. Like, Phasmophobia is a great example. Fucking ghost just appears on the screen for no reason. The scare maze is always fun with you. Well, that thing is, they have so many... The scare maze in real life, like, the threshold. The day something actually proper scares me on a scare maze, I will think it's the best thing since... I will genuinely think it's the best thing ever. But the issue is it will have to go so dark and unhinged and... to a level that they won't want to go to because most people don't have that high tolerance of it. Yeah, the scare modes to me are actually fun. I only jumped in here to say this because you look like you eat apples with the stem down. With the stem down? I eat apples without the cork in, mate, so it's impossible for that to happen with me. But fair enough, Scully, fair enough. I eat apples without the stem in, mate, so it's, yeah. Impossible for me to do that. Very hard times horror movies, none of them are scary. Horror movies are like, horror movies annoy me, mate, to be honest. I don't really like horror movies because they always have the similar kind of plot. Horror movies, you have You boot one up and it's a couple of the same things. They move into a house in the middle of nowhere that looks dodgy as fuck, or they do something stupid like go in the woods. So it's horror movies to me are just annoying and frustrate the hell out of me. It's why I don't really watch them. Well, once I've watched one, that's enough for me. One that I thought was a really cool concept, and I wish they went dark with it, was Truth or Dare. More of a thriller. I wouldn't really even call it a horror, but that like smile, the smile is the scary part. I think that had so much more potential to be really dark. There's a new, like, I won't say new, I don't think it's new, but it's just gone on Netflix. It's called Escape Room. That looks alright. Bit of an interesting concept. Also, that Infinite Scully has got to be the weirdest message I've ever seen. Or one of the weirdest messages I've ever seen on Twitch. Just comes in, says that. Awfully weird, and then leaves. Guess he gets scared easily. That's what I'm imagining what he's referring to. He's been listening to the conversation, he must get scared. Bless him. I actually just my head in. Who wants to walk into a house with a door slot? Yeah, I know, exactly. That's why I don't really like horror movies, because it's always a stupid plot. It's always a stupid plot. Well, I don't really know how they change it. I don't know how they avoid the stupid plot, though, in all fairness. Because you can't have an entire film where they're refusing to go into any rooms because, well, then, you know, there is no plot. The film doesn't really go anywhere. So I sort of get it. But it doesn't make it any less annoying. Watching The Nun actually cured my fear for a few... Oh, I don't really like The Nun. The character, that is. The Nun is... The Nun, I'd probably say, bothers me more than anything else now. It used to be dolls, but I've kind of just got over that now. And The Nun is kind of one of them. But I think the Nun's quite cool. I mean, I don't know. It's quite a cool concept. Film's not so great, though, in my opinion. Film's pretty mid. Oh yeah, I've seen it, but not going to watch it. Which one, Famara? I was pissed myself watching this video of the guy having horror characters come to attack him and he starts beating them all up. Poor Chloe got scared on Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is actually quite, as horror films go, that is more of a, that is up there in the scare fact, in my opinion. As someone who doesn't get scared by them, that is actually a good horror film. Nightmare on Elm Street. The old one, anyway. The new one, not so much. So, I don't know. I would say Nightmare on Elm Street. People getting scared by Nightmare on Elm Street, I think is valid. That is better than a lot of horror films now. It's a classic and it's a good classic. There's if you ask me to pick a horror film, that's probably in my top 10. Maybe in my top 5, to be honest, in terms of what I would choose. I've watched it over and over again. But the older version is definitely better than the newer version, that's for sure. Another horror film I really love is any of the Chuckies, but that's more from a comedy aspect. I don't think he's very scary. He's just kind of funny. I'm going to go 2 more down with this one, I think. I'm going to go down. I was thinking before maybe 10 might be the way, but I've now destroyed that, and I think definitely the room just feels a bit shallow. So, we are going to go there. With horror, the one thing I do want to try with horror is Resident Evil 7 with VR. But I don't want to pay the money for a VR just to play one game. Because Resident Evil 7 is actually a really good... Well, it's one of my favourite games ever. I think it's just brilliant. But I've completed it twice. But I've always known it's had VR, but I've always wanted to play it in VR. But I don't want to buy a VR just for that purpose. But it would be good. The scary film you was talking about, I don't think I'm going to watch it, but I've seen it on Netflix. Yeah, I actually quite like the concept, but Whether I can be bothered to watch it, I don't know. I was going to ask about that. Yeah, that would see that to me I would have if I like never had played Resident Evil 7. I feel like playing it from the first time ever on VR, that would maybe get a scare or two out of me, like jump scare, because like you wouldn't know what to expect. Seeing people play it, and I can only imagine how immersive it is VR. Yeah. Phasmo VR must be experienced. I don't think that would be that scary, to be honest. Well, I don't think Phasmo's that scary anyway, but I think Phasmo as a horror game, I won't even call it a horror game. The amount of people who have came in this stream when I've streamed it and said, how are you playing it alone? I've never understood why. I've only had 2 or 3 jump scares, and that's always when a ghost decides to appear in front of me. But in terms of just, like, going on the rooms and whatever in the houses, it doesn't bother me at all. If anything, I think what actually I don't understand is because I'm more focused about trying to stay alive and trying to figure out what ghost it is, so you don't really have a chance to think about the fact that, you know, this potentially could be scary in any way. VR gives you a bloody headache. I've heard of that, but that's kind of like expected. You have a screen right in front of your face or your eyes. VR that I'm going to be trying soon is the Nintendo Virtual Boy. My dad brought it because he buys everything Nintendo, as I've already explained. But he said I can put it in the background for the setup because he doesn't really necessarily have any plans to play it fully. And he's ordered something else for it. I think he's ordered the box one as well. But the plastic one actually has a stand that you meant to use, to be able to use it. But it actually is quite nice to display. So that should be interesting to play the Virtual Boy. There's going to be in the background soon. Silly Billy. Who's a Silly Billy? You're a Silly Billy. Who just put something in the Discord? POV Brzndz. POV Brzndz, you're in a horror movie. That would be me, mate, to be honest. It would be quite good to be in like to be in a horror movie or like an actual horror room, like that's a proper horror room. That'd be brilliant. W stream, I'm new to your stream, just subbed and liked. Thank you, Killer. I appreciate that. Not really much going on here at the moment. I'm just destroying stone, but I appreciate that. Well, we're talking about horror things, and I'm destroying stone. That's the vibe at the moment. I don't really think 10 is the max I'll go with this room. Right, let me have this. Need to get some more iron. Got another 20, so we've had 50 iron from this hill. Although we've had to make quite a few pickaxes, we've also gained quite a lot of iron. So probably equaled itself out, to be honest, the amount of iron used to gain. Mine in the way. Oh. A lot of iron, it is. Well, it is for like this size room. Especially when I wasn't really expecting any. And you could argue it would be more as well, because some of the iron was actually already half mined by the idiot who made that secret area underneath my base. So it's probably more like 55 if we're going based on that average vein. So just under a stack of iron. Which, I don't know, what's that make? Like nearly 10 pickaxes? No. 20 pickaxes, isn't it? The stack of iron makes about 20 pickaxes, 21, something like that. Which we've probably made between 10 and 15. You're making a bed on that ladder. You'd have to be a small fucking individual to be able to put a bed on that ladder. Speaking of small, I was watching something I had not watched for many, many years. Alvin and the Chipmunks yesterday. I watched the first two. I've not watched Alvin and the Chipmunks in so long. Forgot how good them films are. I remember when the third one came out because I remember the Happy Meals. I don't really remember the release of the first two because, well, 2 came out in 2009, so I was 4. And the one before that was 2006, so I was a whopping 1 year old. But I remember the third film coming out, and I remember it being the Happy Meals. That's where they go to the island or whatever. There's always mixed on that. You don't think they're that good? That's mad. I think there's some after 3, but I don't really recall what happens after 3. But the first 3 are golden. I don't really know, like, maybe go and watch Alvin and the Chipmunks, but there was on Sky Cinema, so I was like, I don't know, I just fancied it. Watch the first. Did a few things for YouTube and TikTok, then watch the second. The girls used to annoy me. How the girls used to annoy you, but the guys didn't. Theodore is, which is the chubby male, is actually voice acted by a female, I'm pretty sure. I don't think the females added anything bad to the franchise. If anything, they kept it fresh. Alvin and Chipmunks never interested in. To be fair, Lumi, anything outside of anime probably doesn't, mate. Yeah, the chubby one. Yeah, Theodore, I'm pretty sure is voice acted by a female. I don't think Theodore is a male voice actor. To my knowledge. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. Which isn't that uncommon. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure, like, you go through a lot of the animations, voice actors. A lot of the male characters are actually done by females because of, well, you can't really have a grown male doing a younger male character because the voice is too deep. Which that's already like a reason to have a female doing the role. I'm pretty sure Horrid Henry's also a female. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong on that. Killer Code, thanks for the follow. How are you? Ash, yeah, exactly. There we go. So, like, any kind of like big franchise for the animation, I'm pretty sure there'd be a female voice actor as a male character. You do actually not know who Ash is. Ash is the, what's it called? I don't even know what you'd call him. He's the guy from Pokemon. He's like the kid from Pokemon. I'm not sure what you'd call him because I don't know much about Pokemon, but I know who Ash is. I know for season 1 he's definitely in it. I don't know what he's in after that, but in season 1 he's the kid who like gets Pikachu. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that. W stream, thank you, Killer. I appreciate that. He's in all of them, yeah. So I've only watched season 1, mate. So what's it called? Don't I couldn't like confidently say he was in the others. So I didn't go put my rocks on the line for that. We have finally nearly mined this stone. Nearly. I'll have to find a place to like bin all this because it's completely filled up our stone chests. Just reading up here. I only watched up to the end of Allura and then it started to bore me. That's fair enough. I don't know what that is, but that's fair enough. I've only watched the Kanto region the first season. I've not, and even that, I don't think I've fully finished the first season. But I don't know, I think I have. I've watched enough of the first season. The only thing that's doubting me is I'm pretty sure there's like 50 episodes on Netflix, isn't there? But doesn't that all just say season 1? But I've definitely not watched 50 episodes. I don't know if that 50 episodes is multiple seasons or not. The region in Sun and Moon, I think season 21. Fucking hell, there's that many Pokemon seasons. Holy shit. Why I'm looking forward to the re-release of Fire Red and Leaf Green though on Switch, because that is actually the region I understand. I don't understand the other regions, but I do understand that region. So I know, although I've never played the games, it's the games I've watched the most of, and it's also the games that I naturally know the most about. So, well, not the games themselves, but the Pokemon in the games. But Arceus has been good so far. I've played the first 2 hours of Arceus, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm kind of the only thing I would say is it's quite a slow burn at the moment. It's doing a bit too much teaching in a way. That's my only criticism of it at the moment. I kind of want it to, you know, next gear. Like I want to get into the game now. I've kind of had enough. You got some wood now. You built a boat. Nice. What, like a big boat? What do you think about the game collection new reward system? It's not really a new reward system. They're just like, instead of doing the £10 for some purchases, it's now 3 times the points. So it's technically not as good of a deal, but the £10 deal was always ridiculously good. So I think it's valid. I've seen some people somehow criticize it, but to me, it's like that £10 deal was always ridiculously good. And no company could afford to keep that going. I still rate the game collection. The only thing that they may need to improve on with the game collection, I'm seeing a lot of people receiving damaged cases in the games, like especially steelbooks. Because the game collection, I'd say put minimal packaging. I would say that they may do fast and free delivery, but I would say their packaging is a little bit minimal occasionally, especially for steelbooks. I've seen quite a few people online end up with dents in their cases and stuff, which, in all fairness, it would be nice if delivery companies would treat parcels with a bit more respect, so it wouldn't even need to be a worry. It's not something, in my opinion, a company should expect naturally to happen. No, they deliver stuff via Royal Mail, Caleb. Although DHL are no better from what I've seen in the parcel department. To be honest, though, looking at the year ahead, I've not really got to order that many games from new. I've got such a big backlog of games, and I've already said about all the different franchises I want to, like, at least complete one game of this year, that any kind of new releases, unless it's something that's really interesting me, I'm not going to buy it from new, because there's no point. The only 2 games at the moment is Crimson Desert and Fable. They're the only 2. And one of them comes out at the end of the year. And one of them, I think Crimson Desert's in like a month. It's end of March. And they're the only 2. Which both are massive games as well. So they're going to take up a good portion of the year. They were considering using Temu for buying games for their stock. Who? The game collection? I've not read anything about that. I doubt it. But yeah, any other games this year not going to fully interest me. Unless something big for Zelda comes out, then I might buy the collection of it from Nintendo. But I don't really know. Well, Zelda's very quiet at the moment, so I'm not really interested in 10th generation of Pokemon. Rumor has it is meant to be maybe a new Mario game, but yeah, not really that bothered. So yeah, they commented a video about a guy who brought a game off Temu, and I was actually shocked. Oh, interesting. I've not seen that. To be fair, might have to go looking at that. Not really sure why you would do that though. Mate, Jake David, I was on about you like I don't know, half an hour ago. I was on about streamers I watch, and I was mentioning you. I am having a good stream though. How are you doing, mate? How are you doing? How's your morning? I'm interested in what Sega bring out for Sonic's 35th anniversary. I keep forgetting that there's that many birthdays because Halo's also got its birthday this year. Luigi's Mansion also had its birthday this year. So many games which have birthdays, like big birthdays. It's mad. All these games are getting old. All becoming granddads. Anyway, my ears must have been burning. Yeah, nothing bad. It was just on about like streamers I watch. And then I mentioned your name. Right. Yeah, that looks better. The stone looked like it was kind of suffocating the ladder, so I'm glad I've done that. My only issue, I can't remember which side was it that I went a bit extra. I might have to quickly count these blocks because the room isn't symmetrical at the moment. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so that one's one extra. 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait, they all gone 10. I'm not sure what this song is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, that's not meant to be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. This one's right. Well done. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So somehow I made 2 walls a bit too... Well, I did 1 extra. I want to learn to count. That was a bit made. Oh, was it a TikTok they commented on, Kiki? That's probably why. I thought it was... to be fair, I only really look at their socials on Twitter because TikTok relies on them coming up on my following page, which they don't always. There we go. I don't know if this floor that I'm going for with the stone and... Oh! We got a raid! We got a raid! Let's go! Bit of a voice crack there. That shout out came in straight away. Zora Cat, thank you for the raid, mate. Let me drop a follow. Let's go. I wasn't expecting that. Zora Cat, I just dropped you a follow. Let's see what you were streaming. How was the stream? Also, welcome in raiders. I'm currently questioning myself on how to design this room. So, in a bit of a mental thought. I play Minecraft as well. Very nice. Very, very nice. How was the stream? Hopefully it was good. You've had a shout out too, so hopefully that's gave you a few follows, and I've just dropped you a follow myself. But thank you for choosing my stream to raid. That was a very nice surprise. Not had a raid in a while, so it was quite a shock hearing that alert. I've not heard that in a while. Had a good stream. Thanks for following. No, you're more than welcome. Thank you for choosing my stream to raid. It's appreciated. Slurper, welcome in. Not Slurper. You're called Slurp Zero. Slurp Zero, welcome in from the raid as well. So if phone was slow. Nah, you're all good. You're all good. You weren't even that far behind, to be fair, on the raid. With the message to the alert coming through. But I'm glad your stream was good. What would you want to in Minecraft? I know I'm wanting like fountains almost to come down from somewhere up there in the corners. But I don't know how that's going to work with this weird floor design I'm doing. Oh wait, hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's one of the 10s. 2, 4, 6, 8, and that's one of the 10s. Okay. So that hole needs to come in there. Because the wall's going to be there. And then this is one of the 9s, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. But lately I've been spending a bit of my stream playing and my partner's myself. Oh, very nice. I'm sorry I could raid in here and bring in some love. No, I appreciate it. I've not had a raid in a long time, so when they come in, they are a pleasant surprise. I forget how loud the alert is though. That's probably the biggest shock for me. Kind of wish I made this room a little bit bigger, but it doesn't really have a purpose other than just being a plaza area to have corridors going out. There'll be a corridor there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then there's going to be no corridor on that wall because the hill's not going to go far enough out for me to be able to do a room over there. The only thing I'm going to do on that side potentially is a viewing platform to view down the cliffside. Which, if I actually have a look, which is 2,405. You may want to reinstall Minecraft. You should. I mean, to be fair, this is like a really new world for me because that is a lovely sunrise. The last world I created was in 2018, but I wanted to start again because I was like, I won't say falling out of love with Minecraft, but I wasn't having as much enjoyment with it. So I wanted to start a world from scratch again and just see a lot of the new update stuff. Because on the other world, we have to go so far out now to like new chunks to be able to get all the new update stuff. But it's been quite a good experience so far. Yeah, so the hill doesn't really go out much more further, probably about 8 or 10 blocks. The viewing platform would probably be about around here, I'd imagine. Yeah, somewhere down there. Oh, this is one thing that does annoy me about building in this biome is just how much the snow piles up. When we started on this hill last week, it was nice and flat. We now have full-on blocks being built here from the snow. I just wish I wish like an update would come out where they just make snow melt naturally. Look at that. Staring into the abyss. Doesn't have to like melt quickly, just has to melt so it doesn't stack up like that. It's 3:35 AM for you, so I'll be lurking while I do post. That's all good. Get yourself ready for bed. But I'll be keeping a lurk and keeping a tab open. That's all good. Thank you for again, thank you for the raid and make sure you sleep well. Yeah, because we're in the UK, it's 10:30 here. That's an entire 7-hour difference. But no, completely understand. Even if you like had to raid and run straight away, I'd have completely understood it, to be honest. But the fact that you were able to stay around for a little bit, that's always appreciated. Welcome back, Caleb. What have I missed here? I keep on getting concentrated on this room. Nice purple tint to it. I know, on that sunrise. I've not actually seen that kind of colour before on the sunrise, to be fair. But I think it's just probably vibrant visuals that I've added that. Right, I'm gonna see how far I can go with this before it would have to be a viewing platform. Well, the hill does go a little bit. It does just go quite a bit further than I thought it would. And then we hit snow. Nice. So it's around. Yeah, the bit that pokes out is kind of where I thought it would be. So I'm kind of thinking the corridor will just like branch out like that into like a big window. That's kind of what I've got pictured in my head here. So before the end of the stream, if I could get this room sort of finished and do that viewing platform, I think that'll be good progress. Because that should take quite a bit of time doing both of them things. I don't think we're going to get really any dints on these corridors because they're going to be massive corridors into other rooms. Still not too sure what to do about that mine because that looks a bit weird. Sometimes an update I'm not familiar on because it's so long. That gets even worse now on Minecraft because there being 4 updates a year. Before it used to just be 1 update a year, so you'd only miss, as long as you installed it once a year, you'd only miss really a few things. Now, like, you bloody miss everything. So if I do... I wanted a path to go all the way around. And where them cobblestone blocks is, that wall's going to get filled in because we went a bit extra on that side. One of these days, you never know, in Minecraft, I actually might decide to plan a build instead of, like, planning it as I build it. I think that day will never happen, but we'll never know, maybe one day. Because this, I had an idea for this house originally, or not this house, this room. But the house that the idea I started with for this room at the start of stream is not completely different, but definitely different to where I'm at now. That's the beauty of it. It is until you realise that, like, you've made a mistake and then, like, you're having to destroy something. Because originally this was going to be just quite a shallow room, and now it's 10 deep. Like, it was only meant to be, like, less than half of that before. So I feel like one random water block is going to look weird. If I do 3... And then if I make it so the path links up more coal. The most surprising thing about this is how much coal and iron we've earned from this. But loads. We had a camel in this world. His name was Keith. We had a camel. Then a viewer decided to kill him for no reason. That's poor Keith. Although we have an opportunity to get another camel because one of the villagers around the world has a camel still. But it's all the way at my other house. So I'd have to somehow bring the camel through the nether to my house because I don't think running through the wildland would be a good idea with the camel because it would take ages. Can't really put it in a boat either. You never know. There might be another Keith. We might resurrect Keith. And then this should be right on the wall because this side's actually done right. What shall we name this new camel? Keith 2.0. I miss Keith. He was a baby camel at the start of the world, and he was living life to the fullest in the nether for whatever reason. And then somebody joins, and then he died. Sacrifice on the new viewers to bring him back. It's like some cult, mate. We're going to start doing real life sacrifices. That's the type of thing you'd see in Minecraft, though. Like, sacrifice and cults and all that. In fact, I joke about that, but I think if you watch the videos where it's... where's that crafting table down here? There it is. If you watch some videos where it's like, players try and survive 100 days in whatever circumstances, and they've got, like, kingdoms and islands and all that, like, that kind of stuff starts happening. Get the summoning circle and candles. You've been playing too much Phasmophobia, Lima. You have. You have been playing too much Phasmophobia. That's a good question, actually. Have you done that in Phasmophobia yet? Have you summoned a ghost via the summoning circle? I've done that once. Well, I say I did that. I watched a viewer of mine do it for me when we was going for a perfect run. And that was an interesting experience. Nope, too scary. It can't do anything to you, though. I mean, you piss it off, but you can't do it. It can't do anything to you. It just stays in the circle, vibing. Do you use Bedrock? I don't. Yeah, I play on Bedrock. I own Java as well, but I enjoy playing on console too much. I'm going to pretend I didn't read that name on TikTok. Very interested. Very interesting name. TikTok doing what it does best. I'm not sure what someone's making in their house right now, but it smells pretty decent, whatever it is. Yeah, it's a very interesting name on it, Caleb. TikTok is the definition of keeping you on your toes with some of the names. Court of Lamb. I like watching people play Court of Lamb on Twitch. Probably one of my more recommended games. I don't really understand it because I don't want to understand it yet until I play it, but it's quite cool to watch. But I wouldn't even say it's like in my top like 50 games on the notepad on my phone. Jake, to be honest, most of the time I play Phasmophobia on my own. But I have like people who come in the stream when I streamed it, saying how do you play it on your own? But I don't get scared by it on my own at all. I have the odd jump scare where like a ghost appears on the screen unexpectedly, but I never really get bothered by it at all. I was on about this earlier about horror stuff, but I don't really get scared by much, to be honest. Like the Nun, that's really about it. I used to get scared by dolls quite a bit, but not really anymore. But yeah, Phasmophobias I find quite, I won't say satisfying, that's the wrong word. But I don't know, I don't really think you get a chance to be scared because I'm too busy trying to survive. I used to play with a heart rate monitor. I have one in my drawer here when I play horror games. And that very rarely, if ever, peaked, other than when something would appear on the screen. Suffer, welcome back. I don't leave the van if I'm playing with other people. Just ask Caleb. You get carried. Is that what you're saying? That's the very definition of get carried. You just sit there in the van, twiddling your thumbs. You're like every manager at any kind of business. Just sits there in the back, just ordering people around. Honestly, I've watched it happen. It doesn't even surprise me. Libby's just sat there with her feet up, just watching Caleb get scared as he goes around the house. The only map I'd say that's like, I wouldn't say bothers me or scares me, but the only map which I think adds a bit of intensity is the high school. But it's so crazily big that playing it on your own would just bore me to death because you'd have to fight, like finding the room would take ages. But that's the only room or the only like map which I'd say is really, or really adds a bit of intensity to the scare factor. That's also, last time I played that was me, Kai, and Caleb, and I think, yeah, me and Caleb got nailed by whatever it was, and then Kai had to solo it. That was a difficult game, that was. I remember it was like Ghost of Pain in the ass. It was like we couldn't find the room for ages, but it just kept on hunting. And then eventually killed us. Right. I want a viewing platform here, but I can't picture how I want it to look at all. And I want it to go outward, as I've said, but I don't know what blocks I want to build out of. And this is a bit annoying. This random naturally spawned hole in the hill. Prison freaks me out because the entrance feels like it's miles away, even though it's smaller than most maps. I've played Prison a few times. I don't think I've ever survived on Prison. So I don't tend to play it that much. But again, Prison is quite a big size though, to be fair, because I don't think I've ever played that solo. I think the least amount of players I've played it with is maybe 2. That was just me and somebody else. But most of the time, it's always been 3 or 4. Good play Phasmophobia. It's like, I go through phases of that. When I first got it, I couldn't put it down for months, and then I didn't really play it until last summer, and then I couldn't put it down until like middle of autumn. One of them, it gets, I won't say addicting, but once you get into like the phase, so you can't get out of it for a while. Well, I'd say it's more enjoyable with people. As much as I enjoy playing it on my own, it's nothing can beat like a really good difficult run with like a bunch of people. We just shoot the snowball. Yeah, so I want that needs to come out about there. Don't know, I kind of want this a bit more wide than what this is. Last time I played at the added Lighthouse, I was off. Oh, I know Lighthouse. Last time I did that was a challenge. It was like a weekly challenge or whatever. I'm not a big fan of that map though. Last time we played on stream was about the start of October, end of September. But I went through like 3 or 4 months from like the end of May, just pretty much streaming only Phasmophobia. It's you are back for more. I've not gone anywhere. I've only gone to get a drink once, and you've spoke to me since then. If I went somewhere, the stream must have crashed on your end because I've not gone anywhere, mate. I'll fill this in temporarily, but this is going to need to be something a bit more permanent than dirt. PlayStation said this is the year of indie games. Is that why they've, on the PlayStation store, there's a specific indie sale? Indie games are the best anyway, to be honest. Because 9 times out of 10, you've got a developer that actually cares. And at least when you put in the money to that game, that it means more to the developers. Whereas when like you go in, someone's always buying FIFA or something like that. EA don't care about that. EA really don't care at all about that 60 quid. What do I want for me walls? I don't really want to do just cobblestone. Although it would be a good way to use the stone. Oh no, let me gather some logs because I don't have any wood really other than the 45 planks. So I'll gather some logs and think about it. I don't really know any indie games that are coming out though, to be fair. But equally, there's only 2 games this year that are really on my radar. As I've said, Crimson Desert and Fable. Anything else is I'm going to wait till like I've got more time to play it. I don't really see the point in buying like a bunch of games from launch, which I'm not going to play until I've gone through the backlog. I may as well just wait for them to go down in price and wait. Other than the 2 that I actually do really want to play. Can I see what the other ones... Suffer, because like people can join and just go wherever they want, I don't really know where most people are built in the world. There's a couple of areas which I know, but most people have built near my old house, not this one. So, I honestly don't know. In my last stream, there was like 3 or 4 people who were working on an area near a trial chamber. The only person who's built near me is Rue, and she's built somewhere in this forest. Which is there. Look, she's built there. But most people haven't come over here, to be honest, because I'm not necessarily right next to spawn. And because we've turned off the locator bar now, it's quite difficult to find me without a map. That was a very small tree for a spruce tree anyway. Joke of the day. I heard Ronson turn up to the darts summit early. Oh, okay. No joke of the day, Lumi. No joke of the day, not from you. You do joke of the day even when nobody requests a joke of the day. And it's normally like 4 or 5 jokes a day from you. Permanent dad joke is you. That's you, mate. Although that was a bit more original, I suppose, than some of your others. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? It's the only annoying thing about these trees is you can never find trees consistently that you don't have to build up to get. Like these three here, I'm going to have to build up to be able to get the top. Unless I can jump onto this block. There we go, well done. Made a so in this game last time I played it. It set a spawn at the top of a super high tree and I had to burrow my way down. I had that in hardcore. Not a super high tree, but I did spawn on a tree. I'm honestly surprised it actually generate on a tree. To be fair. But yeah, I did a hardcore world, which I uploaded a few YouTube videos. This is all snow, it must be. And I spawned on top of a tree then. Yeah, the spawn on this world's in the desert, which is over that direction, but you have to travel over the snow biome, the oak biome, a mangrove biome, and then you finally hit the desert. So if anyone wants to come over here, they have to travel quite far. Not going near hardcore to poo at the game. To be fair, hardcore's not even that bad. With how easy totems are to get now, and you having copper armor, copper tools and all that, it's not that difficult. And to be fair, most of the time when people die and lose the hardcore world, it's annoying because they've done something stupid. The amount of streamers I've seen who had like long hardcore worlds and they died to like, I don't know, their elytra ran out, or it's normally to do with the elytra to be fair, or they might have accidentally somehow fell off into the void in the end. Like it's normally something really daft. They don't normally die to something in like combat in the game. The worst I've seen is somebody was building something quite high up and they ended up falling off. And then dead. Obviously, I don't play much hardcore, or any hardcore from that series, but I watch streamers who play hardcore. Mainly because the projects they build are quite impressive. And you know they have to have done it in survival. Oh, that's very nice. Nice tree on the floor. I feel like the spruce biome should have the dead leaves that you can have on the floor. If you go into like not pine cone forest, I don't know what they call like pine trees. You know, they've done sharp like green like leaf needle type things. You always on the floor see like dead ones. I'm not entirely sure why the snow biome in this game doesn't have any dead leaves, but every other biome does. Watching Brian play reminds me I'm a noob. I can maybe build a wooden house and a tiny farm. That's about it. I'm not even that good, mate. It'd be quite funny to show you like the other world. In fact, I think I can. I can quickly pop in there. Because I'm currently silo on that. Oh no, I can't because I can't load up into there. That's alright. I don't mind quickly showing you. Let me load up to the PS4 version. I should be able to boot it up. Or is the PS4 version updating? Oh, I maybe can't. I maybe can't. I think we'll have pictures. Because the other world we've got is really impressive. It's got tons of builds. Let's see if we've got any, like, Minecraft pictures. We have videos of the world. Some old. Okay, this is an old video of when, like, this bit of the city. But here's, like, a flyover. This is about 3 years ago in the world. This is a part of the world because the world's massive. So there's, like, different, like, areas. The world doesn't look anything like this anymore. But that's a section of it. I don't know if we've got anything more modern. Date, new to old. Yeah, I don't think we have... This is a world when I was like on my PS3. I was a kid when I built this. This was... This It's a very, very old world. This is on the PS3. It was filmed on the PS5, so I just transferred the world over, but this was PS3 days. By the time, like, I'd finished this world, like, it would lag the PS3. The PS3 could barely run this world at the time. Yeah, I don't really think I have anything, like, modern in terms of videos of it, sadly. All of these are really old. Because, I mean, this is a bit more, you can see a bit of the desert on the left, but even that's different. But yeah, you get the idea. This is the spawn. So that big dome is where people, underneath that big dome is where people spawn in. If it's download the bedrock version of PS4, so I could probably boot in. So yeah, but there's that was created in 2018, and then this year I started this world, just for the sake of wanting to start again, and then that world's still like maybe going to be on stream every now and again, but it's not going to be like stream mostly. Love the fox statue. Yeah, that was built by an old friend of mine who I don't talk to anymore, but like, even that was quite a few years ago. Because I've always wore the fox skin and have like fox emotes and profile picture and all that. So he just basically built that statue based on the skin. Not something that I could have done. I'm not very good at doing that. Even though it's like, even though it's essentially just copying a skin. Not something that I would have successfully done. Make another pickaxe. If I forgot my VOD, I think there should be... Next, I'm not really stream much in that world. I was going to say I could look at my VODs and see if there's any like recent streams, but I've not really streamed that world that much in the last 60 days to show you. Well, there's different areas. Like most of them roads aren't there anymore. So there was a bit of a city vibe, and then that's now not city at all. Like all them roads were torn up. So that area is completely different now. But in the desert, there's more like a desert village, but it's on the island, all across the islands. In the snow biome, something I was doing last year was making an entire Christmas village, which that was pretty good. That was like a huge project. But there's tons of different areas. You can go like quite far away, and there's different older kingdoms that other people have built. So it's a prized possession of mine because of how much like history's in it. But I think it was probably time to move on to a new world this year, so that's why I've done it. Right, that's got to come out a little bit. One thing I should probably do is we're going down. I need to go get sand. I'm going to put the sand smelting, so then by the time I've marked out that wall, I can then just put the glass straight away. People are so great. I've seen people build IRL places like London. Yeah, I know there's some really great builds. It's mad, to be honest, like what people can build. That's why I like... It's whenever like someone gets worried, like one thing that happened in a lot of that world, people always get worried sometimes to build because they wouldn't think they were that good. But most of the time, to be fair, even if you're not as good as other people, like a lot of people are good at certain types of builds, if that makes sense. So some people are good at pixel art and some people are better at house and stuff, but it's always really good to see what different people build. That was probably one of my favorite things about having that world for so many years. Is seeing all the different things that were built. I am determined to drown again. I didn't learn my lesson after the other stream last week. Oh, I've not got any food anymore. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'm going to need to gather more sand than this because I'm making it a block viewing platform, not panes. Oh my odds. Oh my odds. And it's now night. Nice one. Nice one. This is bad. This is bad. Leave me alone. There we go. Live life on the edge. All right, we're going up again. Right, that stone's finished. Is the iron finished? Oh, you already took the iron out. Okay, fair enough. We have over a stack of coal. That like room, massive. Some of my favorite thing I've seen people build on Minecraft is like Harry Potter stuff, but that's because I love Harry Potter. Seeing like full recreations of Hogwarts and Diagon Alley and all that over the years is really cool. It's it's mind blowing in some ways because I can never build anything like that, but it's still really cool to see. Especially the amount of detail that goes into every single room. Arguably does a better job than playing Hogwarts Legacy when it comes to immersing yourself in the Harry Potter wizarding world. This is what I was on about the dead leaves. I don't know why I don't just put some of these in the spruce biome as well. Right, come on, piggers. You did. Yeah, you're not hiding there, mate. You're a pink pig on a green floor. 6 pork chops. I got the maximum amount of pork chops from 2 pigs. 2 more chicken. What about the Lego Hogwarts? But I've not been able to justify the price. Are you on about the big one or the smaller one? Well, there's actually quite a few, but like I have the miniature scale, which is the £100 one over there. But if you're on about the bigger one that's like £300+, I've wanted that one for a long time as well. The big one looks awesome. But you can have like they've done like I think 3 or 4 variations of this where you can buy like individual parts of Hogwarts, and if you put them together, it makes Hogwarts. They've done that 3 or 4 different times now. I think they're currently on a different variation, like on like the biggest scale ever. So if you really want like a huge scale of like Hogwarts, you can buy individual parts and you put them together. If you wanted it even bigger than the £300 one. But yeah, and I understand that. The most expensive set I have is Batman Arkham Asylum. I have it right in... Right, you probably can't see it, but it's right in the corner there, next to the Home Alone. It's right there. The Hogwarts is over on the left here. That's a creeper, that big green thing sticking up. There's like loads of Lego in the corner there, and there's Lego up there, but that's the most expensive set I have, the Arkham Asylum. The Home Alone one there is one that I brought myself for Christmas last year. I'd wanted it for so long, and a bit like you, I couldn't justify spending like what was it, like £200, 200, £300, whatever it was. And I don't know, then it was on offer and I just decided to not think about it. Is that the... Yeah, the Batman Arkham Asylum is one with the loads of minifigures. That's the thing that drew me to the set. Especially the Riddler, because I love the Riddler. And some of his minifigures, like his older ones, because he's not been in many sets, so like go for so much. So that was, I wouldn't say a cheap way of getting a Riddler minifigure, but it was like better than spending loads on just one minifigure. I think that's meant to retire at the end of the year, though, the Batman Arkham Asylum. It only came out last summer. Or was it September? But I don't think it's got a long run on. That hasn't. I think that is due to go at the end of the year. I don't really understand why, but Lego doing Lego things. Scaper, welcome in. How are you? My friend's a builder. I'm usually the terraformer collector of things, like all the saplings starting a tree. Terraforming. I love terraforming. Terraforming is like is the icing on the cake to builds, in my opinion. So that's mad respect for that, being the person terraforming. Because you can have a good build, but if the surrounding area isn't that good, it kind of like puts a damper on the build. So good terrain around it is important. Look at all these dogs. I hate it when they tilt their heads. I ain't got much food, lads. We can't keep on making baby dogs. We've already got a crazy amount of yous. We can't be having more. I say to bring the cats over here that are just chilling like 2,000 blocks away. But yeah, I love Lego. That's an expensive hobby, but it's a good one. I've not finished building some of the sets I've been given though, mainly because I'm not sure where to put them. I've got 3 up there, and I think there's 4 in the wardrobe. I don't know where to put any of them at the moment, so I'm just kind of sitting on them until I find somewhere to put them. But it's one of them. It's like I go through. It's one of them where I go through like phases where I'll build like 3 sets really quickly. So although that seems like a lot of sets to have in a backlog, it's not really, because it's one of them where I'll end up building a few in quite a quick succession. Speaking of Harry Potter, one up there is the flying car that I've got to build, and then there's 2 F1 cars up there. Speaking of F1, only 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks. It's like a week and 5 days. Not this Sunday, Sunday, the week on Sunday. F1 is back. Or should we call it Formula E now, based on I have electric that's in the sport now. Let me scroll up here. I think I've like called up on all chats here. A fellow Bedrock friend, yes, we are indeed on Bedrock. Yuma, welcome in. Surprise! That's actually the nicest comment I've seen about Bedrock in a while. Streaming Bedrock is sometimes painful on definitely on TikTok. Mad people would come and just start hating on it, which some of the hate is valid, but it's such a random thing to do. It's such a random thing just to go to someone's stream and start moaning about them playing Bedrock. But I'm having an issue with mob farms. I don't know anything about mob farms. I can't lie. I can't lie. I can't help you in there. Can't help you with that. You prefer Bedrock, to be honest? I prefer console legacy over Bedrock and Java. So whenever I hear the argument, I always laugh, because console legacy, in my opinion, is the GOAT, but obviously it's not supported anymore. If I had to pick out the 2, I would still pick Java, but you can't play Java on console, so it doesn't really serve a purpose for me. Because I prefer console gaming, I don't really see the point in playing Java on my PC, because why put loads of effort onto a world that I can't play when I'm away from the PC? That's why I do Bedrock. It's one of them. Bedrock's definitely the more accessible platform. And definitely the most accessible from a cross-gen and cross-platform perspective, with different consoles and stuff. But it's Java's probably the better version of the game, I'd say. But equally, it's like whatever makes you happy to play it. So that's the main thing. I prefer Bedrock for cross. Yeah, exactly. In terms of player people, Bedrock is definitely the way to go. Right. We need to mark this big viewing platform. Say big. Average size viewing platform. It's not very big. Might just bring this in by a few. I definitely want to start with just 3, otherwise it's going to look weird with the other corridors, but I want it to then come outward. But I imagine once I turn my chunks up, this view over here is going to actually look pretty decent. Especially when the sun's rising. Fill that in for now. Who... Speaking of things coming soon, I was about Formula One's a week on like Sunday. New Peaky Blinders film is next week or the week after. It's like the first week of March, first full week. So it must be next week. Looking forward to that. March 6th, yeah, something like that. I know it's in the first week, so must be sometime next week. And then goes on Netflix March 20th, I'm pretty sure. I didn't realise how long ago it was since the latest season. I remember when the last season came out, but I didn't realise it was that many years ago now. Made me feel a little bit old. That's what I faced about it showcasing that. Yeah, it's soon. They released a trailer last week. I think it's the last trailer, the main one. I'm not really sure, to be honest, I'm not really sure the series needed a film. It ended pretty, I won't say it ended pretty well, but it ended and it didn't really need much to it. But the film now goes based on his kids taking on the business and stuff. And I think it's a bit more close to World War II, or it's after World War II or something like that. So I guess it's definitely the right direction, but I'm not sure it was necessary. Still should be good. I'm not going to complain. Still not as old as you, Kiki. Still not as old as you. Though it is mad to think I'm 21 in just over 3 months. Like, barely even feel 18 and I'm 21 in 3 months, which is not that old in comparison to most people, but it's still mad to me. Still crazy to me. Join the old gang. You're still older than me, Caleb. Still Grandad Caleb. That's gonna be you, mate. Your birthday's actually soon, isn't it, Caleb? Not that far now, mate. Speaking of birthdays, I'm gonna give you a Grandad card, mate. That's what I'm gonna give you. You just watch, mate. You watch on your birthday, and yeah, exactly next month, mate. Yeah, you're getting old. I'm gonna give you a Grandad card. Be like some grey man on the front of it. Anyway, you're still young. It's just mad, to be honest, like how quick like the years go. Because I remember when it feels like I've turned 16 the last like 4 going on 5 years. It just kind of just flew on by. That's supposed to be you on the card. I mean, it can be, mate, if the if it fits. I think this will be fine because this doesn't need to be that big because the other corridors they're gonna be massive as they go into the hill. This just needs to be a nice viewing platform for me to come out and be nosy. Or it'd be actually a good place to go AFK. I need to go and get a drink or whatever. Just sit here. Yeah, as for I need more glass. Yeah, one more higher. Not sure what to do with the walls. Because cobblestone, as I said, seems a bit basic. Don't mind the floor being spruce. With like the stone bits like this. I need to change that cold stone. Which the walls, I'm not too sure. I've also got to change the ceiling here somehow. I'll be 30 before I know it. Yeah, Kiki, you're at the other side of 20s, mate. Grandma Kiki over here. To be fair, the weirdest part sometimes can be like just seeing older clips of me. You know, when we go, one of the worst things I hate when raiding people on Twitch is, if they've got like a shout out and it's it's one of them clip shout outs. Like, as much, I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of streamers don't really like this. And it's always some clip from like when I was younger. It's awful to see. It is awful. I hate it. It's never like it's never a new clip. You know, if you like the shout outs like a clip from the last year or something, that'll be alright. But it's always a clip that's like from when I was like 15 or whatever. And I'm like, ugh. I wanted to see when I was 15. Stone polish andesite, maybe chiseled stone, or randomly play. Oh yeah, stone. That's not a bad idea, to be fair. That's not a bad idea. The only thing I'd say about that is I started doing a lot of walls like that in my last world, so I don't know whether I'm just then only building similar things. I do like that. I could do that with the odd spruce logs in between. I know on water fountains. Or I could like make it more nature with because this fountain's going to come down. Make it more nature with the moss and like hanging leaf blocks and blossoms and stuff. I mean, it's only a plaza, so it's not really even a big deal. All this is so I can come down, go in a corridor, and then go to other rooms. I'm not sure why I'm overthinking it too much, to be honest. Because it's I'm not really that bothered how it looks. There's a GIF on Discord. It looks like it's from old clip. Yeah, someone made 2 GIFs. That's from like clips of my old stream. Ironic that the person was on about who made that fox in the other world is the person who made them GIFs. Remember when you went through your old clips to change your voice? Yeah. Because I've like grown up making videos and stuff. There's so many videos I have from like when I was younger. Oh, hello. The zombie on a zombie horse. Not seen one of these in the open before. If I kill this idiot, can I like tame his horse? Oh, get in. Stay there, mate. Stay there. I took the saddle off him because I was going to go and find a faster horse. The only thing is, where did I put the saddle? The saddles aren't craftable yet, are they? That's in the... Oh, no, they are. They are. But do I actually have leather? Can you explain why you think Legacy is better than Java? What, Legacy console? In terms of simplicity, mate, that's the main thing. I don't... Oh, there's my saddle. Doesn't matter. I don't need leather. It's kind of hard to explain the feel of what Legacy console gives you that Java and Bedrock do not. And it's not necessarily nostalgia because the amount of times I've gone back to play Legacy console and just found so much enjoyment from it. There's stuff in Legacy... Oh, okay. Well, this is a fail. This is a fail. He burns in the sun. Like, okay, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. I did not know it did that, I'm going to be honest. Okay, well, rip. Rip. Sorry, horse. Sorry, mate. I did not know the zombie horse also did what the zombie does. It makes sense, but I didn't know Minecraft was going to be like that. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain in terms of the feeling that Legacy console gives you that Bedrock and Java don't. Of course, there is a bit of nostalgia with it. Pookie, welcome in. How are you? There is a little bit of nostalgia. Like, I won't fully say there is none because I have so many great memories of Legacy console. But the main thing is simplicity as well. Like, the game was simple back then. Now, a lot of updates and features that come to Minecraft feel unnecessary and not really thought about. And very random. Definitely at the moment, features feel extremely random. Whereas back then, updates felt like they actually had some kind of thought process and meaning behind them. That's all games. That's fine. Yeah, but that's fine for that to be the case in terms of you saying that's like all games now. But you've asked me why I think Legacy is better than Java and Bedrock, so I'm explaining why. It being the case, all games being like that now doesn't necessarily give a defense as to why Bedrock and Java are better than Legacy console. I also think Fortnite's suffering the same fate, so you are right with other games doing it. Pookie, thanks for the follow. I don't really play Fortnite anymore, other than the odd occasion. But that game suffered the same fate with overcomplications. So yeah, I also think if we're going based on Bedrock comparisons specifically, the amount of bugs in Bedrock in comparison to console legacy can't be ignored. Definitely not. Definitely when Bedrock first came out, holy moly. If we're going just specifically on that comparison, in terms of from a console player, console legacy runs so much better than Bedrock does, as much as I play Bedrock. So that specific comparison cannot be ignored. Thank you, Wolf. So you're just giving me free meat. But overall, it's simplicity and me just enjoying console legacy a lot more. I've played console legacy since it came out on the 360 back in 2012, and then played it all the way through to when Bedrock finally hit the PlayStation 4, which is when console legacy fully ended. And no years of Bedrock since then. None of the fixes of bugs or updates have made me feel anything that console legacy did. So yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer. Can I swear? Yeah, my stream's at 18 plus. So yeah. It's not a problem. How the fuck do I know your Microsoft account? You could just say, what's your tag, mate? What's your username? But exclamation mark tags, and then you can see them. Rip mini games. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think I'm alone on this opinion, but in my opinion, the mini games are better than the servers on Bedrock. When I load up the servers on console, I've not done it for a year now, so maybe if some things might have improved, but it just feels so... And I've not loaded it up on the PS5 version either, in all fairness. It just feels so frame droppy, buggy, a bit tacky. I don't know. It doesn't feel very smooth or polished. Whereas the mini games, they were unique to console for a start, and they were just nice. They were good fun. So in my opinion, the old mini games are better than anything servers offer. Wither, can I play Minecraft with you? Yeah, just read what Dr. Ducky's got to say there in the chat. He's explained it for you. If you want to play, you're more than welcome to do that there. So yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine for people not to prefer console legacy to Bedrock and Java, going back to the original question. Like, unlike most of the Minecraft community, I don't really have an issue with people preferring other versions of the game. As long as that is respected the other way, where me not preferring them versions is also respected. I think... Are you the fox thing? I don't even know anymore. Pookie, I don't get what you're asking, mate. If you want my tags, they're there. The Streamlabs has replied with my tags. And how you join was in that original command. So all you need to do to join is add me and I'll add you back. In all fairness, OC, with console legacy, there is ways of playing older versions. But as I said, I'm not interested in a debate about it. You asked me the question and I've answered it for you. It's fine if you disagree, but there's nothing you're going to say that's going to change my mind on that, because yeah, I know I've thought about that conclusion and the pros and cons of Java, Bedrock, and console legacy. And having played on all of them, the one that's still the best in my opinion is console legacy. Out of all the versions of Minecraft. You know, I've played Java, I've played Bedrock, and I've played console legacy, and the legacy will always be the best, always be the top dog. The only thing on Bedrock I would say, because I've just noticed the shadows, the only thing I'd say that Bedrock does very well, and I would say Mojang, you know, Microsoft, whatever, deserve to give themselves a pat on the back for it, is vibrant visuals. That is the only thing I would say that, you know, I will wholeheartedly hold my hands up and say, you know what, you've bossed it, you've smashed that, because to get that natively into the game on old gen as well, on PS4 and the old versions of Xbox, I think is nothing short of amazing. For the longest time, console players wanted shaders, and then they now have it in the game, and I think that deserves massive amount of credit. Pookie, can you read? Ken, can you just explain to Pookie what the join process is, please? I don't think he fully understands, mate. I think Kiki is as well. Basically, Pookie, to sum it up, if you're at the moment, because Microsoft accounts are being rather glitchy on Minecraft, I can't necessarily play cross-platform with people. So at the moment, we can only allow people in on PlayStation. So if you're not on PlayStation, you won't be able to join today. To summarize. However, if you were to join on cross-platform, you'd still have to add my Microsoft account, which I can see you haven't because my PC hasn't notified me about it. So even in the future, if you wanted to join, you would have to add my Microsoft account so I can invite you to the world. I mean, added you. You haven't. I've not got a notification on my Xbox app. Oh, I've been like 3 hours. Wow. Well, like my throat was going dry because I'm not going for a drink for like 2 hours. Do F5 twice. No. I'm not pressing anything on the keyboard. What we're going to do, I think, is we will finish off this viewing platform, which the walls I think I'm going to leave for now until I've got a blocks I really want to build out of. So we'll just do the ceiling, we'll finish off the glass, and then we'll call that a day there. And then I'm back on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have to do some terraform around this hill once I've done this because the hill doesn't go fully out to that glass. I don't mind that. One, two, three, four. I could have just done like a stone spruce pattern up here at the top. Another block that could look nice is that white block around amethyst that I can't remember its name, calcite or whatever it's called. Have you ever toured the new stuff? The only thing I've done today is this, and then dug out this massive room. So in terms of what you haven't already seen, that's it really. Everything else you've already seen, mate. I guess if you really want to say you've not seen the full Polby spruce, which that's the only other thing I did. But yeah, today was mostly just destroying the hill, to be honest, to get the room done, because that's put us in a nice position for Thursday's stream. What we got? Diorite's not really going to work. That's all dirt. I guess I could do something with stone. Stone and maybe something with spruce logs on the roof. Yeah, because I could do this. A little balcony, thank you. It's not, I won't say fully a balcony, but yeah, I get what you're saying. More just a viewing platform. Let's go there. That's going to be stone, so spruce will stay like that. Alright, I just got to wait for that cobblestone to smelt then. And then, let's see how far, if I go up my chunks. Let's go max, which I think is 32 in it. Or 28, it's a bit random. Oh, you can just about see the ice biome from here. Wow, the frame drop as it spawns all them chunks. Yeah, you can just about see where that random gap it ends in the trees at the top. Yeah, when I build things into that forest, it's gonna look like a pretty decent viewing platform. I'll leave it on 18, doesn't need to be on 16. So we'll finish off this ceiling, then I'm going to call it a day. I'm back on Thursday 8:30, Saturday I'm at 8:30, and Sunday 8:30. So, first thing in the morning. That's obviously UK times. I think that, oops. Also terraform this on Thursday around the viewing platform. So all of that just needs to be stone and then we'll terraform around it. Very nice. I mean, I might change this. Could be possibly long term where I end up changing the entire wall, ceiling and floor of all these rooms, but I'd imagine when I start doing that, I'll have a lot more resources. So it won't really be that surprising. Got a YouTube video to make this afternoon as well, so that might be out either tomorrow or today at 4 PM. We'll see. There'll be a ping in the Discord nonetheless. Oh. These dogs, look at them tilting their heads. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, I've got called quartz, haven't I? Quartz isn't a bad shout for somewhere in the wall. Because there is quite a lot of it in the nether that we've not mined. It's not so difficult to get to. I'm just to make sure this. Yeah, because that's going to go like that. And that's there. I actually don't mind that as a ceiling. I kind of like the spruce and stone patterns. God, seeing those they drop, yes. I enjoy making YouTube videos at the moment. It's it does take longer, but it's still quite fun to make. I think it's more fun because it's interesting how different it is from Twitch, especially with like how the algorithm works and some videos, like even if it doesn't have necessarily a great start, will then randomly go on the algorithm and then you wake up and the video's got like you know, in the thousands of views. When you went to bed it didn't have any. So I don't know, it's quite fun because it's sometimes unpredictable. And then that's gonna go there. Yeah. Alright then. So we just need to wait for 3 more blocks to smelt. I actually do like that pattern. That pattern I actually prefer of the instead of the spiral like circly one here. There we go. There's the 3. And that is viewing platform done. I kind of had plans for the viewing platform to be somewhere down there in like one of the rooms, and I might still do that, but I also quite like this one. Maybe should have brought it a bit more forward because then it could have looked backwards into the hill, but it's all right. Okay, so I am going to call it a day there, guys. It has been a pretty fun stream. Quite a few new people we've met as well. For those on YouTube, TikTok, and Kick, we're going to end them now. Thank you for those that have followed on there or subscribed, as it is.